When we look at those IT systems, going Nathan back to your question, it's important to say
Mm-hmm.
that we never ever look at any content of anything. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the metadata, the usage patterns.
Yeah. Yeah. And explaining that is important, right? I mean, there's so much in our industry of like this fear of data sharing. It's like, hey, there's a difference between usage data transparency and content data. Like we're not looking at what you're writing. We're just looking at how many you're writing and maybe how long it's taking. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I think the right terminology would be behavioral analytics, right? So looking at numbers that describe how are people in my organization using the various IT systems? How do they utilize them, right? What's the frequency? Time of the day? Is it business hours only? Is it beyond business hours? Is it middle of the night? Is it something that wasn't there before, right? Last week or a couple of weeks ago? So it's looking at the usage patterns from various different systems, combining it with HR data. HR data is important because you see managerial changes having a great impact on the team's satisfaction, right? If someone changes a manager every quarter, every 4 months, something feels shaky, right? It's like my parent who is continuously changing roles. Looking at tenure, looking at adjacent departures, looking at vacation days utilized. So combining all of these, to provide talent or risk prediction. And when I say risk, to me, it has two meanings. I'm risking my people because I'm burning them out without even knowing. Just happening to be a micromanager, I'm not aware of it. Or risk in a company level that people in this area of the business has a high burnout risk or leaving, flight risk. So
I think it's an important component too, because, when you tell your own story, it's not, I don't think, common knowledge. And Nathan, we can sort of go back to our experience with SoBuilt and some others that, like, it's really the high performers in your organization that are at some of the highest risk for this to happen. So you're talking about some of your top level talent that, like you said, Eitan, you're 29 and just going, right? Well, eventually when ulcerative colitis hit you, you weren't 29 anymore. You're probably 10 more years along the way, but you were driven by something else, by your high performance, by the belief in the company, by the hours that you put in. And what if, and so many of these folks, Nathan, as we know in our world, are outside of purview. They're working on whether it's the project management, the schedule, whether they're modeling or detailing. We hear this from detailers consistently that, they have a ton of work. It has to be perfectly accurate or someone's life's at risk, right? But all the while creating risk by overworking and no one knowing it's happening. So it's a critical component.
and I think that no one knowing is the main issue here because it's okay to work hard. It's okay to have stressful kind of project with tight deadlines. The question is if anyone is noticing, if anyone is managing that. It's okay to have a peak kind of quarter, but is it followed by kind of a 2 weeks downtime in a way, recovery time? And that's also something that you see in the data. You see those teams that are kind of, they have this sinusoidal wave of high performance, could be the end of the quarter for a sales team, but then there's some kind of a recovery time. And my goal is for every manager to start looking and providing that recovery time.